Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Roxanne. It's another of our video calls where we've been chatting to everybody while we're all at home at the minute, and I'm delighted to say from Taking Back Sunday, Adam's on the line. How are you, Adam?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Surviving in the strange
Good.
time, and I'll start this
Yeah,
off in the
for
way
real.
we've started off every single one of these, which is to, of course, say I hope your loved ones, your bandmates, everyone you care about is staying safe and well out there. How have these last few months kind of been for you? How have you been occupying your time?
I hope the same for you. It's we I feel like during this past year it's been good and bad. There's times where I haven't been handling it so well. Just it's a lot of uncertainty and things like that, as you know. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been kind of like it's given me a chance to like as far as music goes, like really focus on either ideas that I've just had kind of half finished for however long, so I've revisited a lot of those, and I've taken this time, like my guitar, I think both playing and the pedals that I've owned, that's all grown a bit during this time. So I've been really like just kind of when I have time, to just kind of jumping into the gear and then the recording aspects. I've just been trying to focus on that to kind of keep myself sane. And then when, like when there's time, when you're not trying to keep the kids sane also. So,
Yeah, the amount of people I've talked to, particularly guys like yourself, you got a family back home. It's funny how this, in a weird way, there's a nice side to this horrible situation we're all in that you do actually get to spend some time at home. This must be the longest you've been at home in a very, very long time, right?
yeah, man, this is probably the longest we've been home and not like in the studio
Right.
for maybe 20 years. Like it's which is a real testament to how lucky we are. Like we're still the luckiest guys, you'll talk to. But yeah, it's been crazy. I think we've all had our moments to where we've gone a bit stir crazy, but making the best of it. And then that's all anybody can do, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a good attitude to have, man. And speaking of making the best of it, let's talk about this live stream show, man. You kind of just announced at the time
Yeah.
of recording, kind of freshly announced. Talk to you about how the initial idea came together, because I've loved watching loads of different artists approach it in different ways. What's your approach to this live stream performance?
Well, it's kind of right when everything kind of went on into quarantine and all that, I started to just kind of jump in to kind of that side of things to try to think, oh, okay, if we were to stream something, how would we do it? How do you work that just in general, because that's not like if you put me in the studio, I generally know how to work anything there. But as far as like with streaming or anything video related, I didn't know much. So like I learned OBS. I like figured out how to control that through a MIDI and like all this other stuff, and spent so much time doing that. And then it's so, and then kind of from that came this idea of like, oh well, I should do a like try to do a stream. Like I can't get together with the guys right now because we all live in separate places, and we're trying to be as safe as possible. So kind of what I was saying earlier, to where like I would, when I just be like meandering on the guitar, I realized like, oh, here's this idea that I never finished, like here's this, and so I really started focusing on those and kind of putting myself into that, which was a real welcome distraction. And then I also felt like I was um, uh, like kind of like moving forward rather than just sitting still, because you can't tour or anything, and we couldn't get into the studio. So like I was feeling very stagnant. Anyways, once I kind of had those ideas together, that's when we kind of started moving forward with the stream. And a buddy of mine who also lives in the same neighborhood as I do, he's a director and an editor, and so him and I have been working on just kind of putting that together, which has been great because it's like all that worry kind of starts to go out the window, like when you have something like right in front of you that you can focus on. And kind of my hope with the stream, you know, like I was saying earlier, we're some of the luckiest guys we know, and I'll be playing a lot of songs that are just no one's heard before, basically, unless they've been in the next room, you know. And I can understand how that could be a difficult sell for people, but it's like this, I found so much joy and so much kind of grounding and peace of mind from working on them. And then just to kind of think about how like being able to play shows and all of that, like that's another big just even like therapeutic thing for me, the communal aspect of it and the fellowship. So I thought maybe why not try to put some of that into the world, you know, and hopefully, you know, people will tune in and watch and kind of feel that same way that these songs have helped me to feel.
Absolutely. I mean, that was the thing that struck, I think, me and a lot of fans of your work when this kind of press release came out, this announcement that, yeah, this is going to be happening this evening with type situation. Yeah, the promise of original songs. So are these all new things that you've written over these last few months at home, or is it older ideas you've kind of gone back to, like you say? Like what is the kind of mix of these new songs?
It's, well, there's so I didn't want it to be real Taking Back Sunday heavy, only because I would feel terrible doing that and it would just make me miss the other guys even more. You know, like we're talking all the time. Oh, hold on, there's like
There's a boy on a motorbike. What's going on?
it's no, it's like a riding lawnmower.
Oh, this is it. The life of a suburban rock star, man. I love it.
Yeah. Well, not quite suburban because I'm not the one on the lawnmower, but
that's true. That's true. It's all good, man. Just go for it. Go for it.
Ooh, that's some rock and roll stuff right there.
That is the most 2020 thing that could have happened in this interview. That's
oh my God, yeah. This is why we can't have nice things. But so, yeah, but or like the guy, like we're talking all the time, and we started doing like this weekly podcast, which we're calling Talking Back Sunday. And so we've been doing that, and I miss him so much, and I didn't want to, like, it just wouldn't feel right to do like a Taking Back Sunday heavy thing. So with that said, also like I was saying earlier, like kind of anytime I've been sitting down with a guitar and stumbling across these ideas that I've had, and then like trying to see them through to the end, and then just because it helps me to feel like the world isn't so heavy when I'm doing that. What was I saying? Oh, like I could see doing like a few like Taking Back Sunday deep cuts, only because like there are songs that I just know we won't be playing live. Hold on. See him?
Oh, I see him.
There he goes. There
he's
we go.
He's a man on a mission. He's a man on a mission. He's a man on a job. He's got to get it done, man. It's all good.
I don't know if you noticed, but he's just in the middle of the street, though. It's like he's fucking with me.
He knows who you are. He knows what's happening. He's like, I'm getting in the back of that shot.
So wait, he's coming back around. Oh my God, dude. I'm so sorry. This is like
do
really
not apologize. Do not apologize, please.
I'm so sorry.
Please do not apologize. Absolutely no need.
Or like, yeah, he's not even running on grass, though, is what I'm saying. All right, there he goes. So there are some deep cuts that I could see doing, and that I think I'll try a few of them. And then too, like since I announced the stream, you know, like people have been on my social media like, hey, like try this one, or what about this one? And some of them have been like pretty obscure kind of Taking Back Sunday songs. So I just figured, well, you know, that would be fun to play or like to revisit. And I've to be completely honest, I've been more focused on playing the originals correctly, because I know it sounds ridiculous, because yes, I'm like still by myself and it'll be in front of a camera, but I'm terribly nervous about it. Only because playing in front of I probably shouldn't, I'll probably kick myself for talking about this, but or like saying it out loud in public, but there's this thing of like playing outside of the band dynamic, you know, it's just not something that I'm accustomed to. So there's So there's also something about that nervous energy too that kind of brings this extra kind of excitement to it for myself. But hopefully no one will be able to tell. However, now that I said something, everybody's going to know.
No, but it's a natural adjustment, though, isn't it? Of course, you're used to being up there with the guys, and you weren't expecting to be doing any kind of solo show at this point. Especially not this year. It's
No.
kind of it's going to be a natural adjustment. What are the things you think I don't know about most worried about, but what are the things you are particularly thinking about? Like, okay, that's going to be the different thing that I really need to focus on this time.
Well, it's more of just I've been trying to incorporate my pedal board. And basically like I'm playing with an acoustic guitar, right? But at the same time, still miking that acoustic and running it through an amplifier, which doesn't always sound the best. So then it's like, okay, well, how do I incorporate these other sounds just so it sounds, I've been working hard and I really hope it sounds better than, just like if I were to just throw my phone up in a room, like I want it to be something a little more special than that. And so that's kind of something I've never really experienced, because normally if I'm playing with pedals or anything, I'm just by myself in my room or in the studio. And then so now it's kind of like I have this new appreciation for guitar players that's what they do within the band, because there's this whole dance you have to do, and if you're not accustomed to doing it, it's really something interesting to start to learn. But what's great about that too is like it's even like through figuring that out, I'm like finding all these different textures and just different sounds, and honestly I'm getting sounds that I didn't think was possible with what I had. And so even through that, like just figuring it out, like I think it was yesterday or the day before, I probably spent an hour and a half just with this one little pedal by Earthquaker Devices called the Avalanche Run. It does so much. And I feel like, when you're younger and you're playing like Super Mario Brothers 3 and you find that secret little entryway that gets you the warp whistle, that's what it felt like, that same feeling. Just kind of unlocking the secrets of this little device that you plug a guitar into. So it's been a real exciting thing, and I hope, I hope people enjoy it, because I've really enjoyed putting it together.
No, that's great to hear, man. It's always great to hear people really enjoying these strange times and finding ways to adapt in that way. It's always great to see with artists like yourself. And in terms of those originals that you're going to be playing, are you going to be? I mean, is the plan to maybe release them after, or is this a special one-off here? How do you see that working?
Well, like right now, it's. I also know how ridiculous it is to be like, hey, watch this live stream of songs you never heard before, and there's no other way to hear them.
Hey, everyone's got an angle, and I think that's kind of a cool angle. I think that kind of works.
Well, it wasn't intentional, but so no, my next thing would be to record them. So it's kind of like after the show, then I can start putting time into getting them down on tape, and so that's kind of the next step, which will also be a bit of a long process, because just like with the stream, like I have to kind of find little windows of time where I can do that, like when we're not homeschooling the kids or anything like that. So.
No, of course, yeah. Got to adapt around the time. I understand that completely. In terms of the band stuff, then, I mean, one of the it's everyone's plans have kind of been up in the air and touring, all that stuff. I guess kind of particularly sad for someone like yourself, where this was meant to be at least part of the 20th anniversary celebrations, right? I know you did stuff with the album last year, but that was part of a year-long celebration and everything. I presume there was more stuff going to be happening this year that kind of got curtailed. What do you see happening with the guys moving forward?
Well, we thankfully we did the bulk of like the 20-year reunion last year, so that's like, I think we got fortunate in that way that we were able to go and see everyone, and play for folks. And this year there is a lot that was canceled, but we were mainly focused on going into the studio and working on a new record, the kind of like maybe the week before everything went, or like everyone went into quarantine, you know, they closed the country down. We were all together in the studio where we recorded Tidal Wave and starting to demo new ideas. And kind of the plan was like, okay, so we'll be in the studio for this time, and and then we'll play like these one-offs, these shows we have scattered, and then maybe in a month or two we'll come back and then demo some more ideas. And then so we were just really writing for the most part, but the thing is we haven't been able to get back into the studio yet. So that's kind of the next thing that's on the horizon for us, and hopefully we'll be able to do that sooner than later, because things are starting to look a little bit up, you know, just so long as everybody can, not everybody in the band, but I mean just like everyone at large can pull it together and start doing the right thing, you know.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. No, sooner rather than later, please, because we'd love to see you over here for some more shows and all that kind of stuff as when you
I
can, you
would,
know?
I would, I'm probably not supposed to talk about it, but I think we were gonna be over there for a bit, and that all got
Sure.
canceled, which was a bummer because we were really looking forward to it, you know, like and then now, you know, like we have this big old election coming up, so we're just so we, I mean, depending on that how that goes, we're gonna have to get over there to maybe do some house hunting to see what's gonna happen.
We'll welcome you with open arms, Adam. Over you come, man. It'll be all good. It'll be all good. Last thing I want to kind of leave you on, man. Again, we, you know, like we mentioned, it was a big time of reflection last year in particular for you guys. And what I always find
Mm-hmm.
interesting, particularly when you go back and look at a particular album, like you did with Tell Your Friends and all this kind of celebration stuff, it must affect how you're going to look forward. Was there anything you discovered in going back that is driving the new music for you guys? What are those reflections like?
Well, for you know, um, I think there's a lot of ways I could go with an answer to that. But my thing is that I like think, well, at one, you just realize how fortunate and how truly just blessed you are, because there's this thing, you know, like we, when we started the band, we just wanted to be able to tour, and then and to maybe kind of like try to give to people what all of our favorite artists and bands had given us, and then to be able to, after all that time, to go out and tour the world and be able to see that that you're accomplishing that goal, you know, is it's just really a mind-blowing thing. Like I get, like it's one of those moments where you just kind of sit back and don't know what to say, you know, like I'm truly blown away by it. And there's a thing that I'm very proud of with our band, as far as the guys and I, is that I think each record is a really great snapshot of the people we were at that time. Like there's the, and doing like the 20-year anniversary and playing some of those records in their entirety kind of helped to solidify for me that we've always stayed very true to the people we are in that moment. And that's something that that I think is has, due to that I think going back into the studio, and something we experienced earlier this year when we were together and demoing, like I think that's something that will speak very loudly through our music in the years and records to come, because it's I like think all of my like Tom Petty, I'm not comparing us to Tom Petty, but I am going to say one of the reasons why he's my favorite is that any time in his, any record from his career, no two are alike, and each one is such a good snapshot of that moment in time, of like who he was and who the Heartbreakers were then. And that's something that I hope, that's something that we'll be chasing. And then I hope something that as the albums go on and as the years go on, we can look back and like know that that's something that we accomplished. That was a real long way to get to there. Sorry, that was meandering.
No, it makes sense, and it's a nice discovery to make, and I think it's something you guys that, even if that wasn't what you intended, have certainly achieved. When you look back over the last 20 years, yeah, you can see it growing and evolving, and that's always great to see with any band, but great to see with you guys in particular. So congrats on that. Congrats. Here's to many, many more. Best of luck with this show, man, and yeah, just all the best to you and the family. Stay safe. We will see you in the UK hopefully sooner rather than later, man.
Great. I hope the same thing. Thank you so much for taking the time. And yeah, hope to see. Hey, man, you should tune into the stream. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely, man. You know I'll be there. All right. Good to chat to you, man.
Sweet.
Appreciate it.
All right. See ya.